Thank you, Chair Bozeman and Ranking Member Klobuchar, and thank you to the second panel of witnesses for being here today. And as many of you displayed in your testimonies this morning, it is clear that the ag economy is struggling. And last year, Congress was able to provide some temporary support, but we really do need lasting changes in the 5-year Farm Bill. One that will actually focus on the farm. So, Mr. Wessner and Mr. Zimmerman, from your statements a moment ago, you had said the continued spread of highly pathogenic avian influenza, or HPAI, is a major concern for many farmers, and especially for farmers in my state. In the last few months, we've seen over 7 million birds just in Iowa alone that have been impacted. And unfortunately, it's a number that continues to grow every single day, even with farmers who are adopting the heightened biosecurity protocols and states that are implementing strict movement controls. So while there is a significant amount of work ahead, I am thankful that this remains a top priority for the administration. And we did see earlier today Secretary Rollins announcing several steps she is taking to help mitigate the ongoing outbreak. So I'm grateful that the Secretary has taken a number of the suggestions that my friend and colleague Senator Fetterman and I provided to the Department of Agriculture last week. One of the strategies includes developing new vaccines that can effectively protect laying hens and turkeys from the virus. USDA is also creating a task force to effectively work through any trade concerns and maintain export access to international markets. So for both of you, let's start with Mr. Wessner. Thank you. Can you explain why a vaccination strategy is so important to preventing the spread of HPAI, and what do the next steps look like in protecting our trade?
Well, the vaccination today is I believe, our only protection that we're going to have. If you look at diseases that we've had in the poultry industry in the past, there's some of them that just the only way to get past it was through vaccine. And I think this avian influenza, now that it's mutated to other species, and we've even had one human death in the United States, vaccine needs to be forefront, but they need to be the right vaccines. They need to be safe. And this isn't a short term. This isn't going to happen next year. This isn't going to happen. We're talking a 2 to 5 year thing to really, in my opinion, to really see much advancement, improvement. But I think when the light turns green, and researchers and the people that do know that it's going to be used, I think you'll see advancements maybe come quicker than I think. But we have to go down this road, because right now today it's the only answer we have. To do nothing is wrong. Hopefully they'll come up with better answers. Right now the vaccines today, as Mr. Zimmerman said, taking a needle to 300 million chickens across this country. A lot of them now cage-free, 45% or whatever. That's not an easy task and easily done. Someone's going to help us come up with a vaccine that makes sense. But today what we have is what we have, and we have to start somewhere. And I applaud the administration for making that step today. I just hope it doesn't take too long.
Thank you.
And I hope that we move roadblocks out of the way, and that we go after it with a vengeance, because there's a lot on the line.
I appreciate that. Mr. Zimmerman?
We're beyond biosecurity. We've done as much as we can. Some of our most strict biosecure facilities are still contracting AMPV and HPAI, so we need to look at new tools for our toolbox, and the primary tool we have to look at is vaccination. The viral load in the environment has exponentially increased, with dairy herds being infected now, and cats and other species. So, we've just seen a great increase in the incidence of HPI in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, where before it was in the Midwest. So we can't track it like we used to because of the viral load that is present in the environment. So the strategic initiative would help us decide the logistics and the behind the doors work that needs to be done to roll out a vaccine strategy for multiple species, and I'm including dairy in this, to get the viral load diminished in the United States. We don't plan to vaccinate every bird right away, but if we can reduce that viral load through specific vaccination in different regions while addressing the trade issues, we're going to take a giant step towards controlling this virus.
Thank you. I appreciate it. HPAI is such a huge, huge issue right now for all Americans. And I apologize, I am out of time. I did want to address Proposition 12 as well. I'll submit my question for the record. But this also, coming from Iowa, the #1 pork producing state in the nation, it's a big deal. And we've got to figure this out. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.